Alma Obama, die Schwester des ehemaligen US-Präsidenten, war dieses Jahr am Opernball zu Gast. Und sie hat sich dort für Bildung und Selbstbestimmung unter afrikanischen und afroamerikanischen Jugendlichen stark gemacht. Denn in westlichen Gesellschaften seien Rassismus und Diskriminierung im Steigen begriffen. Und davon sind auch berühmte Künstler nicht ausgenommen, wie die A-cappella-Gruppe Naturally 7 aus New York immer wieder, etwa in Form von Lokalverboten, in Erfahrung bringt. Sie haben mit meiner Kollegin Sabina Zwitter für unsere Sendereihe Weitblicke darüber gesprochen.
Die Musiker einer der weltweit bekanntesten A-cappella-Gruppen Naturally 7 stammen aus dem Melting Pot New York. Die Liebe zur Musik und der Respekt vor der afroamerikanischen Musiktradition, die sich in R&B, Soul, Jazz und Pop spiegelt, geben hier den Ton an. Gelernt haben die Künstler ihr Handwerk in ihrer Heimatstadt.
We all came up singing in church, and it was the gateway to music for me. And you know, my family, my parents also did sing in church. Afro-American culture has been incredibly influential. I don't believe that there is an American musical art form that isn't touched by that.
A Jamaican man in New York. What you say? A Jamaican man in New York. On the river, a Jamaican man in New York.
Sometimes I remember walking the street, somebody's like, 50 Cent, 50 Cent. But you know what, every black person sees not a rapper, not a basketball player. We're doctors, we're lawyers. So it's also good that presidents, and it's also good that people see that as well.
While my guitar gently weeps with every mistake, we must surely be learning.
Oftentimes as artists, we are treated quite special. So sometimes we don't have an idea of what's going on from city to city, country to country. But every now and then we're just on the street and we're nobody. No one knows who we are. And then that's when we will feel something like that. Take your time. As black African-American men, we've experienced discrimination. So we were going to a restaurant, the manager told us it was closed. We're closed. I mean, I could see some people inside, but he said, no, but right now we're closed. And, you know, let's say it was 11:30 at night. So I said, oh, okay, we're closed. But later on that night, the rest of the guys told me that they also went to this restaurant and it was closed for them. But our managers, they went 30 minutes later than we did, and they are not African American. And they were served, and they were able to go in, and we were confused at first, and then we said, okay, there it is again. There it is, there's the discrimination. As we had our first African-American president, and for many people thought that was the beginning of a brand new phase of less discrimination and that type of thing. Actually, unfortunately, has opened the door to more. In most cases, most people would believe that it's opened the case of more.
Oh, we're gonna break these walls down tonight. We're gonna break these walls down tonight. Come on, we're gonna break it down tonight. We're gonna break it down tonight. We're gonna break it down tonight.
It has, for us, living in America, there have been things, especially that has to do with discrimination and racism, that have been, over the years, kind of pushed under the rug and kind of pushed aside, that many people would probably want to say, well, that it is gone, that it doesn't exist anymore. And I think, especially during this past election season, and even over the past few years, some of these things have started to show their faces again, more publicly, more openly.
Joshua was a man of war with a battle axe, a double-edged sword. We're gonna break these walls down tonight.
There's often thought that as African Americans, that you're all an automatic threat. And I think that's what leads to a lot of what has been going on with some of these shootings and killings, is because there's a perceived idea that they are in danger because we are black and they are, and we are a threat. And so we try to diffuse those type of thoughts and ideas.
We're gonna break these walls down tonight. We're gonna break these walls down tonight.
I don't live in fear, but I am concerned, because when you step out your house and you know that, let's say a cop pulled you over, that it could be a cop who is ignorant to the fact of, you know what, this is a human being. This is someone who basically broke the law, and I'm in charge of just making sure that the law is upheld. Nothing further and nothing more. But you have people that go over the boundaries and they target certain people, and then, so that can make you feel uncomfortable. And there's other aspects of life where you shouldn't live in fear, because we have to go on with our lives, but it's a concern. It's definitely a concern, and I'm not gonna sit here and say it isn't.
Discrimination and fear and prejudice doesn't define us, doesn't define our experience. There's more to us, more to what we live than that. That even though it is present, I personally don't let fear rule my life.
Everybody sing. By the rivers of Babylon, where we sat down, yeah, we wept when we remember Zion.
So there's no listening going on from one side of the table to the next. Now, what music does, music is the only thing where some of these same people would actually listen to the same artist. They will listen to the same music. So oftentimes when somebody gets up to speak, people are, oh, no, that's not what I want to hear. But if it's done in a music form, then people will actually listen. So I don't know if music you say music can heal everything, but it can certainly point people in the right direction.
Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. Have no fear for atomic energy, 'cause none of them can stop the times.
If I'm walking down the street and I'm whistling, I'm perceived much less of a danger than if I wasn't, if I was scowling. Just by simply making music tends to make people feel good, it makes yourself feel good and those around you as well.
I believe that, there's the old saying, where there's a will, there's a way. And utilizing music as a means of being able to reach people, they say music is a universal language. Being able to show love one for another, mutual respect one for another, regardless of where you come from, regardless of what race you are, regardless of your background. If we as a human race can learn to show love and respect for one another, that can go so much further than anything that we could possibly imagine.
Let's get together and feel alright.
Naturally 7 können Sie am 3. Mai beim Vox On A Cappella Festival in Bleiburg live sehen.